Well, y'all, was born Mr. Downtown Ray Melo, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio, live from Dubai for Friday, May 14th, 2021, delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, that's RAYMELO, on Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Leslie Jones is giving fans a glimpse of what to expect when she hosts the MTV Movie and TV Awards. Ahead of Sunday's awards ceremony, the 53-year-old comedian shot an all-new promo, and needless to say, we can all look forward to lots of laughs. She says in the clip, "Hi, I'm Leslie Jones, and I'm hosting this year's MTV Movie and TV Awards," as she takes a stroll through a sunny neighborhood. "You have to tune in because everyone is going to help me make this the best show ever." The clip cuts to Jones knocking on the door of Fred Armisen, who answers and says, "Oh, hey, I told you I can't do the show. I haven't gotten my second shot yet." Jones then takes it upon herself to vaccinate the former Saturday Night Live star herself, pricking him with a shot in the neck. A concerned Armisen asks, "You're just going to leave it in there? Do I take it out at some point?" On Thursday, Amazon released two brand new photos of Camila Cabello in her feature film debut in Cinderella, which will stream on Prime Video in September. RHOA director KUWTK's take on the classic fairy tale comes with a modern, unique twist and a fresh, empowering perspective. Amazon promises, as well as a soundtrack of pop song covers and original tracks by Cabello and Idina Menzel, who plays her stepmother. Billy Porter, meanwhile, co-stars as Cinderella's fairy godmother called Fab G. Neither appears in these first stills, however, which are focused on Cabello's Cinderella. The first seemingly shows our young heroine mid-musical fashioning what we can only assume is a gown fit for a ball. The second shot is of Cabello and co-star Nicholas Katazine, who plays the Prince Charming, known in the movie as Prince Robert, to her Cinderella, likely at the ball itself. Kathryn Hahn's knives were all along. ET can confirm that fresh off WandaVision, the actress is the latest star to join the cast of RHOA director Rian Johnson's Knives Out sequel. Hahn joins franchise newcomers Janelle Monáe, Dave Bautista, and Edward Norton, while Daniel Craig will reprise his role as celebrity detective Benoit Blanc for another whodunit. Topping an ensemble cast comprised of Ana de Armas, Chris Evans, Jamie Lee Curtis, Toni Collette, the late Christopher Plummer, Michael Shannon, and Lakeith Stanfield is no easy feat. But if you're going to attempt it, you get Kathryn Hahn and Janelle Monáe. Character and plot details are currently being kept under wraps, but Monáe reacted to her casting on social media apparently with a series of knife emojis. With a cast quickly coming together ahead of the summer shoot in Greece, Johnson is manifesting the hopes he shared ahead of Knives Out premiered in 2019. He said, "We had so much fun doing this. If we could get together every few years and do a new Benoit Blanc mystery, just do like a new cast, new location, new mystery, and a whole new set of things, I think that would be a blast." While the original Knives Out film premiered in theaters, becoming a box office hit and earning an Oscar nod for Best Original Screenplay, it was reported that the sequel will stream on Netflix. Get ready for the best show in Saturday Night Live's history. At least that's what Kate McKinnon says. The promo for the upcoming episode with host Keegan-Michael Key and musical guest Olivia Rodrigo was released on Thursday. The new clip slyly touches on Key's former comedy sketch show, Mad TV. He begins, "I'm Keegan-Michael Key, and I'm hosting SNL with Olivia Rodrigo." Kate McKinnon quickly adds, You've got to watch because Keenan promises the show is going to be the best in 46 years. He replies, "Well, I didn't promise that. I said it'd be nice if it was." With McKinnon quipping, "No, you said it. You promised. It's out there. Good luck." In the second promo, after he introduces himself, McKinnon asks, "Do you think you're going to bring back any of your old characters?" Key, thinking that she's talking about his Mad TV roles, he replies, I kind of want to focus on the new stuff. However, the SNL comedian quickly makes it known that she wasn't talking to him. Sorry, I was talking to Olivia. Bravo is adding another Below Deck spinoff to its slate. The network is expanding Below Deck franchise with yet another show, NBC Universal announced on Thursday. Real Housewives star Kandi Burruss is also getting a spinoff. Below Deck Adventure will take wealthy thrill seekers on the mega yacht trip of a lifetime to experience thrilling YOLO adventures and daring activities, all against some of the world's most beautiful backdrops, according to a description. Season 1 will be set in the glacial fjords of Norway, where charter guests will dog sled, heli ski, and cold water plunge their way through the day. Dine on freshly caught seafood straight from the Scandinavian waters in the evening and still get all steamed up in the hot tub by night. The exact expectations of high-end luxury coupled with the physical demands of cold water adventures will push the crew to new heights and unparalleled pressures that makes this new series one of a kind. The show, which joins original series Below Deck as a current spin-offs Below Deck Mediterranean and Below Deck Sailing Yacht, will premiere in early 2022. Burruss' new show, working title Kandi OLG Project, will premiere in late 2021. The show will feature the star and her husband Todd Tucker and the Old Lady Gang, comprised of Mama Joy and Aunt Nora and Bertha, as they continue to build their restaurant empire while keeping their over-the-top and opinionated staff in line, making their vision come to fruition. Bill Maher has tested positive for COVID-19. The news of his diagnosis was shared on Thursday in real time with Bill Maher's official Twitter. The statement noted that the 65-year-old host tested positive for the coronavirus as part of the show's routine weekly tests. It is noted that he feels fine and is fully vaccinated. The statement reads, this Friday, May 14th, taping of Real Time with Bill Maher has been canceled. Bill tested positive during a weekly staff PCR test for COVID. He is fully vaccinated and as a result is asymptomatic and feels fine. The statement concludes, Real Time Productions has taken every precaution following COVID CDC guidelines. No other staff or crew members have tested positive this time. The show will be rescheduled at a later date. Friday's episode of Real Time was set to include Neil deGrasse Tyson and Dan Carlin, the hosts of the Hard Copy History podcast. The show is taped in Los Angeles. Just last month, Luke Bryan was forced to miss American Idol after testing positive for COVID-19. Bryan told E.T., well, it's very tough, I tell you, when he returned to the show about his recovery and in time in quarantine. I learned how much I love the investment that obviously me and Lionel and Katie have put into the season. After testing positive, Bryan returned to his family home in Tennessee and stayed largely isolated, relying on his wife, Carolyn Boyer, for help during his quarantine. Bryan explained, I put myself in a part of the house and stayed away from my boys. I really didn't want the boys to miss any school, so one of the hardest things was not being able to hug all my children. Robert De Niro is recovering after suffering a leg injury. According to multiple reports, the 77-year-old actor suffered a mild leg injury while on location in Oklahoma for his upcoming movie Killer the Flower Moon. Details on the injury cause and severity have yet to be released. According to TMZ, the film was moved forward as schedules and there would not be delays at this time, as De Niro has already shot the scenes needed at this point in production. The Apple original film, directed by Martin Scorsese, also stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Jesse Plemons, and Lily Gladstone. Based on the David Grant's non-fiction book, Killers of the Flower Moon, The Osage Murders, and the Birth of the FBI, the film follows a series of murders that took place in Oklahoma in the 1920s. The women of Red Table Talk are bringing visibility to the plight of black women just trying to be seen. Thursday's episode of the Facebook Watch series introduced viewers to a crisis that they may not be aware of, the invisible black women epidemic. Joined by activists Tamika Mallory, Jada Pinkett Smith, Adrienne Gammy, Banfield Norris, and Willow Smith, broke down the facet of racism and misogyny that attempts to erase black women and their experience. The group explored how black women often feel neglected and ignored in their everyday lives and recount specific occurrences where black women were treated unfairly. Mallory begins the episode by pointing out that even in the fight of black lives, there's a desire to forget black women who have suffered at the hands of police brutality. She recalled the murder of Breonna Taylor and most recently the police shooting of 16-year-old Bryan. Mallory questioned, would the police have shown up where they were if a white woman and shot center mass at a young woman? She also added, it's unfortunate that this young girl's story has ended this way, noting that if Bryant were a perfect victim, more people would call for her to get justice. She deserves the same care and attention and for someone to advocate for her and her situation, even if she had a knife. The table welcomed Therese McMillan Cotman, writer, professor, and MacArthur genius, who recalled the traumatic trip to the emergency room when she wasn't taken seriously. Cotman explained that she was rushed to the hospital for extreme pain and bleeding when she was 4 months pregnant, but no one paid attention to her until after she bled into the chair, and even then her doctor disregarded her concerns, telling her spotting was normal, especially for someone as fat as she was. It took her return to the hospital after being sent home and Dr. Cotton to beg and plead before she was finally given an ultrasound. A series of incredibly callous and traumatic experiences later, Dr. Cotton gave birth to a daughter who died shortly after her first breath. Cotton said, what happened is both traumatic but not singular. It happens to a lot of black women. At every step of the process, no one really took seriously that I knew what was happening to me. Gammy and Mallory shared their own challenging experiences with pregnancy and childbirth, with Gammy recalling that she wasn't treated well during her pregnancy with Jada, despite her father being the head of anesthesia at the hospital. She says, I was denied the pain that I was having at the time, recalling the hospital staff saying to her, oh, it's not that bad, just be quiet. The group also spoke with Tamika Cross, a physician who was turned away for caring for the unresponsive passenger on a Delta flight, clinical psychologist Dr. Ramani Duravasula, who broke down racial gaslighting, and Dr. Candace Norcott, who explained that black women become invisible because they don't fit the prototype. The episode of Real Table Talk is on Facebook, and it returns with a brand new episode on Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mulaney and Olivia Munn are a couple. This comes after he split after 6 years of marriage to his wife, Maria Tendler. Tendler said in a statement to Page 6 at the time, I'm heartbroken that John has decided to end our marriage. I wish him support and success as he continues his recovery. Monday also marked Mulaney's first show back since his stint in rehab. Mulaney performed a stand-up set at the City Winery in New York City on Monday evening. Mulaney checked himself into rehab for 60 days last December after struggling with alcohol and drug abuse. And according to several fans on Twitter who claim to have attended Monday night's event, Mulaney addressed his time in rehab in a new set. Munn, whose last public appearance was with Aaron Rodgers, dated from 2014 to 2017, tweeted her support to Mulaney after his relapse last year. She tweeted at the time, sending so much love and support to John Mulaney, you got this. CBS has premiered brand new dates for some of their reality shows, Big Brother and Love Island. CBS is the first network to partner with Clubhouse on an exclusive announcement. Friday's conversation was the first of several Big Brother and Love Island Clubhouse events slated for the summer. Fans will have the opportunity to join conversations featuring series talent, alumni, insiders, and experts throughout the season. Details will be announced in the coming months. Big Brother will begin CBS's big premiere date with the live 90-minute episode, followed by the 90-minute premiere of Love Island. Both shows will also be available to stream live and on demand on the CBS app and Paramount Plus, where fans will also be able to find exclusive content throughout the season. Season 23 of Big Brother will kick off with an all-new group of house guests moving into the newly redesigned house. House guests are in for high-stakes summers full of big risk and big rewards, with one wrong gamble could cost them everything. Beginning Sunday, July 11th, the series will air Sundays and Wednesdays and Thursdays featuring the live eviction show. Love Island's third season will take place in the Hawaiian Islands with the all-new cast of Islanders looking for love. The Ultimate Temptation, Casa Amor, will be back as well with new games and challenges that test the strength of the couple's relationships. Following its 90-minute premiere on Wednesday, July 7th, Love Island will air Thursday and Friday and Sunday during its first week. After its first week, the show will air Tuesdays and Thursdays and Sundays for the remainder of the season. An altercation between Kim and Kourtney Kardashian aired with an all-new episode, which aired at the end of an all-new episode on Thursday with Keeping Up with the Kardashians. In the scene, Kim and Khloe are confronting their older sister through the subject of their conversations unclear. Kim says to Kourtney in the clip, "You have a reputation of degrading people." Kourtney replies, "Kim, shut the F up," and is later seen rolling her eyes. Khloe reacts with wide eyes, telling the cameras, "We all have the ability to be negative, but we should want to change." Kim and Kourtney famously had a nasty physical altercation on an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians that aired last spring, shortly before Kourtney took a step back from filming the show. Following the episode, the sisters spoke out to admit that they were embarrassed to see their heated altercation played on TV. A source told Entertainment Tonight at the time, "The sisters are fine and I'm back on good terms." They were able to discuss their differences, and although they don't agree on how each handles things, they respect one another. As for the fight itself, neither Kim nor Kourtney considered it to be their finest moment. The source added, "The sisters are embarrassed of the fight, but since the day they signed up to do the show, they promised the show to be real life." The 20th and final season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians airs Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on E! Nicki Minaj went on Instagram to announce the re-release of Beam Me Up Scotty, the mixtape that was released 12 years ago. She did not note some of the songs that are available for various reasons, but did say that it will be appearing on all streaming platforms for the first time. She said, "I did a couple new joints for the mixtapes. This is just to get back to the basics a little bit, to the essence of why I started rapping." She said, sharing some of the remixes she did in a record called Fractions. "And I did another song. This is actually on an original beat and the freestyle vibe, so that's all in the preparation of the album." Also touching on her upcoming album, she notes that Fractions is not the lead single, but it's very, very important. Minaj also got honest with her fans, expressing how she was on hiatus because she was in mommy mode and kind of went through writer's block. She revealed that after feeling stuck, she called up Drake and asked him who had the hottest sound out there. He then sent her the song Seeing Green. After seeing that Drake was watching her live, she connected with him and they talked about the single. Drake praised Minaj. "I didn't feel right without you being on it. It's epic this way. You know, I had some real heart-to-hearts lately about how it's your world and nobody does it better." Adding that while people love Papa Bear, they miss her presence and the excitement that you bring. There was a moment when Drake asked her if he could reveal who else was on the track, and Minaj smiled and said no, adding that she wanted it to be a surprise. Once the LP was released, fans saw that it featured Lil Wayne. The mixtape was first released on April 18, 2009, cementing Minaj as a future icon. The re-release includes a total of 3 brand new tracks, including Fraction, Seeing Green, and Crocodile Teeth remix with Skill Beam. BTS talked about how the mandatory requirements to continue joining the South Korean army might have an effect on their career. However, in December 2020, lawmakers in the country passed a bill where people in certain professions, including professional athletes and even musicians whose contributions are deemed extremely valuable to South Korea, may extend their services until the age of 30. Jin, the members Jin is 28 and the oldest member, followed by Suga who's 28, J-Hope 27, RM 26, V 25, Jimin 25, and Jungkook 23. Jin says in a new interview with Rolling Stone published on Thursday, "I think the country sort of told me, you're doing this well and we will give you a little bit more time." Calling his pending military service an important duty for our country, he adds, "I feel that I will try to work as hard as I can and do the most I can until I am called." He continues about the group going on without him. "I have no doubt that the other members will make a good decision because, you know, that is not something that I can tell them what to do. If BTS does spend time as a six-piece, I'll be sad, but I'll be watching them on the internet and cheering them on. V says that the group hasn't discussed the details of their military service, but he hopes, quote, it'll work out eventually. As for Jimin, he adds, I don't think I'll ever really thought of being not part of this group. I can't imagine what I would do on my own. I would like to think that at the end, when I'm too old to dance, I would just like to sit on stage with the other members and sing and engage with the fans. I think that would be great too. So I'd like to keep this going as long as I possibly can. Elsewhere in the interview, the band also reflect on their early beginnings and how they just became closer over the years. Jimin expressed, we were very different people that came together. We argued a lot in the beginning, of course. But I think now, because we've spent so much time together, I began to like even the things about the other members I used to hate. The time we spent together really made us close, like a family. No matter where I go, there is some place that I can come back to. I come to feel that way about our group. They also touched on the recent terrifying waves of the anti-Asian violence and discrimination in the U.S., with RM saying there's a light side. There's always going to be a dark side. He says the way we think is that everything that we do in our existence itself is contributing to the hopes for leaving this xenophobia, this negative thing behind. It's our hope, too, that people in the minority will draw some energy and strength for our existence. Well, yes, there's xenophobia, but there are also a lot of people who are very accepting. The fact that we have faced success in the United States is very meaningful in and of itself. The group, meanwhile, is set to release the second English language single titled Butter on May 21st. They will perform the new track on the 2021 Billboard Music Awards on May 23. The song is a pure, swaggering dance pop celebration in the retro veins of Bruno Mars with layers of jam and Lewis's synth styles. It's very energetic, RM says, and very summery. It has a very dynamic performance. And finally, here are the top 10 songs on the Billboard Hot 100 singles charts for the week of May 15th. Number 10, Billie Eilish with Your Power. Number 9, Lil Nas X with Montero. Number 8, The Kid Laroi and Miley Cyrus with Without You. Number 7, Masked Wolf with Astronaut in the Ocean. Number 6, Polo G with Rap Star. Number 5, Doja Cat with SZA with Kiss Me More. Number 4, Dua Lipa with The Baby with Levitating. Number 3, Justin Bieber with Peaches. Number 2, Silk Sonic with Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak with Leave the Door Open. And the number 1 song on the Billboard Hot 100 singles charts for the week of May 15th, The Weeknd and Ariana Grande with Save Your Tears. And that is your entertainment report for Friday, May 14th, 2021. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo. I'll be back on Monday to deliver some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo. That's REYMELO. On Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Everyone have a great weekend. Good night, and God bless you all.